Hello, everyone. Welcome in. So good to see you. Welcome back. Hit that thumbs up if you would on your way in. We are discussing the search for the Sullivan siblings, and they have found a blanket according to info from the dispatch during the search. There's been lots of info gathered from the search via dispatch, and we are going to get right to it. This is Crime Time Buzz, and thank you for being here. This is Lily and Jack Sullivan. Jack is 4 years old. Lily is 6. They were reported missing May 2nd out of Nova Scotia, Canada, around 10 a.m. They live with their it said stepfather, but the mother here, Malehya Brooks-Murray, calls him her partner. I'm not sure if they are married, but this is Daniel Martin. He also lived with the kids. He is not their biological father. Their biological father does not have contact with them, and we will get to him later. This is the search for the Sullivan twins, reported missing May 2nd around 10 a.m. However, they were not at school Thursday and Friday, May 1st and May 2nd, and school was closed Wednesday, April 30th. When I hear that, I always worry a little bit. Did the kids go missing before they were reported missing? Not because I'm accusing anyone, but because we've seen it happen so much when kids are not in school, that sometimes it's a red flag. We did a deep dive earlier on all the case details, a lot of the case details, and now we're getting to a blanket that was found, boot prints, a search of another property locally nearby, quite nearby, their neighbor. Let's go ahead and get to it. The search for the Sullivan siblings. And by the way, Malehya and Daniel have split up. They are not together. As of Saturday, the day after, May 3rd, her family accused him of having something to do with it. And there was a big argument, and his mother, who owns the property where they were all living for the last 2 years together, threw them off. She left with little Meadow, 16 months old, the baby she does share with Daniel, and went to her mother's home in another county. Since then, the baby is reportedly at CPS because Daniel indicated that he went to visit Meadow and was denied access. He said he is not allowed to see Meadow at this time, that CPS is locking things down since the two disappeared. 4 and 6 years old and not in school Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and reported missing on Friday. Just a little background for those of you who are just getting into the case. This is the area, Lansdowne Station in Nova Scotia, Canada, where the kids went missing. Very rural, very small, little populated, isolated area. Many of the people who live there have lived there for generations, and the traffic is very minimal. A few logger trucks, a few local cars, and the school bus. And that is truly quite it. So this is the area, and here is specifically where Jack and Lily lived. And interestingly, if you go on Google Maps, it says here, Jack and Lily's last known location. And I pulled this up and kind of zoomed in for you because here's the closest neighbor that I can find that might be the property that we're going to learn about coming up that they searched. So it's a very difficult terrain. They say there's backcountry roads that only the locals know about that go over rivers and through woods. So according to the audio, and I'm giving full credit to Plunder, she's done a lot of work on this. So I'm not going to play her audio, but I'm going to tell you the information from it. And you could go over to Plunder's channel and listen to her audio, but I will give you the information from it. And I will also put her channel in the description of the video. So full credit to Plunder for this information. She has the actual dispatch audio that she's worked very hard on. I'm pulling the information to share with you. So from May 2nd to 3rd, dispatch audio, They said, canine unit tasked to investigate the blanket. The dog didn't get a track. Bravo 3 seized the blanket. So there is a blanket that was seized by Bravo 3. I do not know who Bravo 3 is. If it's the name of a canine is what I'm thinking, but I do not know. But there is a blanket that was found. A blanket that may have belonged to the children. Now, interestingly, the scent for the children ended at the end of the driveway. So, in my opinion, anything beyond that would only have come from them if they were being carried or something, because the scent stops at the end of the driveway. Here is the alleged exit right here. This slider is allegedly so quiet you never hear it open. Now, we talked about sliders a little bit in our deep dive introduction to the case. My slider I can hear, and most in my chat, I believe, could hear their sliders, even someone who lived in a brand new home. So a blanket was seized. Was it Lily and Jack's? Was it Lily and Jack's? Did they drop it? Was it planted? It could be planted, in my opinion, and I'm not accusing anyone, but we have to look at all avenues. The stepdad, as we're calling him, Daniel Martin, the boyfriend, the partner, said when he realized the kids weren't missing, he went driving around. Probably those back roads that they say only the locals know about. Anything could have been left, and I'm not accusing anyone. We're just coming up with theories. We came in very neutral in the deep dive, but right now, I'll be honest, there's red flags to me, and we're going to stay to the end because our slide is going to be some of the red flags that I'm already noticing that might be leaning towards a hoax, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So child-size boot prints were on or near the pipeline, but hard to tell how fresh they are with the rain from the previous night, but they are still visible. So were they the kids' boot prints? Daniel says he did not see Jack. Lily came in and out of the room. Mom says she didn't see either of the kids that morning, that they were in the room. We've heard sleeping. They woke up at 8:30 in the morning, heard the kids playing out in the, one said room next to us, and I think Daniel said the kitchen, and they dozed back off to sleep. I've also heard that they were feeding the baby, also heard that they told the kids to hush because the baby was sleeping. But they woke up. Malehya, the mother, said she did not hear the kids, so she asked Daniel if he heard them. He said no, and they instantly started looking and instantly called 911, according to Malehya. And Daniel said he went and looked, and he was screaming so loud that his throat was hurting. Those were the initial moments. And here is where the scent ended, right here at the end of their driveway. This is their home. Very reminiscent, like I said, of the Summer Wells case, the environment, in my opinion, of where the kids lived. Actually doesn't look quite safe to me either, to be outside playing. Also was said on the audio is, did any of the kids have stickers on their backpacks? We found a shiny star over here by the bridge, hologram-like stickers. And they checked, and Daniel Martell indicated Lily had strawberry stickers, but Lily did not have a shiny star sticker. And here is Lily and Jack again. Look how cute they are. Still missing. It has been 10 days. They also searched a nearby home. Well, this is the home of Jack and Lily right here. Okay. And so the nearby home, we zoomed in. So they searched a nearby home, probably because it's nearby, right? They probably need to search this entire, look at this terrain. So they did search a nearby home. And it's most likely the home that we circled in the last slide, where we could see the neighbor house right here. Jack and Lily's last known location. And there's a neighbor home. That could be one. That could be the home that was searched. And it could also be the neighbor that came out stating that they thought a party had been going on either Wednesday or Thursday around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And if that is the case, because school was closed on Wednesday and the kids were both home on Thursday because Lily had a cough, they would have been home during these parties. Could they have gone missing before Friday at 10 a.m.? I'm starting to think about that. The neighbor said, I have to wonder if they'll ever be found, let alone if we'll ever know the truth of what happened to them. That's an interesting statement right there. That's very interesting. They live 500 feet from me. I didn't even know kids lived there at all. I thought it was a drug house. There's always cars there, and it's so odd to me, but I can't remember clearly if it was Wednesday or Thursday. But there were so many cars there on that particular day that the driveway was full and a car was even parked on the side of the main road. It was like 2 p.m. at the latest. I remember driving past judging them, thinking how they were probably in there sharing a crack pipe or whatever, laugh out loud. And then boom, Friday, this all comes out. Like I'm in distress over it. It's all so effed. Could that be the neighbor? She's obviously very close, this person. So maybe that's the neighbor that we circled there. Was there a party? Were the kids home? Did something occur? Did the kids wander off at an earlier time? Did something happen? My mind's starting to think a little bit. The absence from school is always a disturbance right before kids go missing, is when they were absent from school. So I'm praying for these kids to come home. This, remember, is full credit, this information from dispatch to Plunder. Also, they said, those pieces of cloth, that's what you and I went with the dog yesterday there when the family brought us up there. Now, to me, that sounds like they're taking, it doesn't, to me, it sounds like they took cloth with them. That's what you and I went with the dog yesterday there when the family brought us up there. So maybe scent dogs they were taking up there. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think about that one in the comment. Those pieces of cloth, that's what you and I went with the dog yesterday there when the family brought us up there. And I also want to point out again, this is their properties, by the way. Here is Daniel's mother's camper. She owns the property. They've all lived there for 2 years. Here is an opening in the fenced-in yard of the kids' home. So it's just for you to know it's not completely fenced. There's a way for them to get out. So those pieces of cloth, that's what you and I went with the dog yesterday there when the family brought us up there. What do you think about that? Was it cloth they took with them for the scent? So a lot going on. A lot of things, in my opinion, are starting to not add up. We have a mom who is silent. Now, I know it is being said that CPS is telling her not to speak to Daniel. She blocked him after the family fight. But I've also heard from someone who does this in a profession that says they often tell them to block them on email, social media, whatever, if someone's a perpetrator. I don't know, just giving information. Also, I'm noticing in the interviews, no pleading to an abductor, and they are saying they were probably abducted. The parent, the mom and stepdad are saying an Amber Alert has not been sounded. We went through all of the Nova Scotia Amber Alert criteria earlier today, and they meet all the criteria except the fact that law enforcement can confirm they were kidnapped. There's seems no call to action to the public if they see them from the stepdad. The stepdad's really the only one looking. He did hold up pictures of the kids. He is out there looking. Mom is not out there looking. Mom left the house. That always doesn't sit right, right? Think about Sebastian Rogers' case. Was there a party Wednesday or Thursday? Could something have occurred? Or worse, we don't know. Why is mom not searching? She doesn't have the baby, and the grandma was there anyway. She could have helped search. Gotten out, let grandma watch the baby while she searched. Why is she not searching? Why is she not speaking to the media? Daniel was not at work on Friday. It's slow. I did hear he doesn't work. I heard he works one shift a week, but I have not. That's one source. I need to find my second source. But things are slow, he said himself. And so he was not at work on Friday. Daniel has a lot of details for someone who was sleeping and didn't see Jack, or now he claims he knows what boots they're wearing. Jack has on little rain boots with dinosaurs and brown pants and brown shirt with a pull-up. He was wondering why we had not found that pull-up yet. But they hadn't found anything at first, right? They hadn't found anything at first. So if they do find something, if they would find something, I would think, I don't know. It's not adding up to me. CPS denied Daniel seeing Meadow. CPS took Meadow. Now remember, Summers brothers, even in their environment, it took them about a month to take the other siblings. So CPS has already taken Meadow, even though mom had left Daniel, the house of Daniel, where he was. So they still came and got Meadow from Malehya. The environment the children lived in was disturbing, seemed unsafe. I'm not sure I'm buying that sliding glass door that looks so old was silent. Does all this lead to, is it a hoax? Did the kids disappear sooner? Did something happen? Did they wander off during a party? Did something happen to them during a party? I don't know, but we're going to look into it. Things just don't seem to be adding up. And where is mom? Please hit that notification and subscribe button. We are going to continue discussing this case, and I so appreciate you being here. I will see you next time. Talk soon, be safe, and keep keeping on.